Amazing. Hi guys.
Hey there, welcome back. I want to make a video series of us playing Five Nights at Freddy.
We do not qualify for ad campaign. Welcome back to Babble.
Hey guys, it's just me this week. Bummer, I know. I'm in a different location than I usually am. I'm trying not to move this microphone too much, so apologies if you can hear me moving it around. I'm currently in my car, so double apologies if you can hear my car running. Hopefully you can. I'm looking at the little red lines now. I don't think you can, but we'll see. We'll see. Guys, I want to start off this episode with full transparency. I did film an episode last week, and I did edit all of it. And then I just decided not to post it because I was getting a little self-conscious. Last week's episode, I dived into the lore of The Last of Us, and I was really excited about it. But when I filmed it, I just didn't have a lot of energy, and then, as I was editing it, I was like, oh, this is really boring. It just wasn't really funny. It wasn't engaging in any way. And I felt like I could have explained the story of The Last of Us a lot better. So we're going to try again in the future. I'm going to sit on it for a little bit and really maybe create an outline of what I want to say, because last week I wasn't expecting to film alone, so I wasn't prepared. So when I pulled up to talk about The Last of Us, it was very scatterbrained. So if you don't know the story of The Last of Us, you wouldn't have been able to follow along. I was just jumping around like crazy because I got too excited. So we can hope and dream for The Last of Us episode in the future. I'm not going to do that today because I'm also filming this late notice, which is totally fine. Amelia couldn't be here this week. That's fine. We'll pick up. She'll be in the next one in 2 weeks. Apologies for the drought that you've gotten on Babel, although I'm sure some of you were pleased about it. I might start filming in my car all the time because I notice I'm not whispering like I usually do. I usually try to whisper when I'm filming in the dorm just because I have roommates. So the car's a good option. It's 9:25 on a Thursday night. So if you're listening to this on Friday, it's a miracle. Hey, it's a miracle. Let me tell you what's been going on in my life before we get into the topic of today. Guys, I may not have had a lot of notice on this one, but I came up with a pretty fun idea that I'm going to be saying some things I've never told anyone. So just strap in. Well, yeah, strap in. Anyways, my weeks have been pretty good. I went to Lana. Amazing. Most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my entire life. I love her. I feel like I went to another concert, but I can't really remember what I've said on the podcast now and what I have not said. Oh, I had my birthday weekend. So we went to a festival that the National was putting on, and Julia Jacqueline was there, and Wise Blood was there, the National, Pavement. So my whole family drove up for that, and it was awesome. Yeah, it was pretty good. I had my first speech of the semester. It went okay. I'm in an oral communications class. It went okay. I think it went okay. I got a good grade on it. So even though I didn't feel like my performance was outstanding, the teacher did, and that's what matters. So I got a pretty good grade. Happy about that. This week's been kind of boring. I've been on the crocheting grind though. So if you'd like for me to crochet you something, please let me know, because I've been making a bunch of stuff, but then I'm just giving it all to Sophie because I don't have anyone to give it to. So if you would like me to make you something and you have an idea of what you would like me to make you, please let me know. Also, I'm making a bandana for myself right now for my job. So that'll be fun. Yeah, I can't really think of much. Oh, I did want to say I've been listening to a lot of music as of late, but when am I not? Guys, music is so good. I don't know if you knew this, but music is really good. So, let me put you onto this playlist that I've been creating for the past year. I'm going to try to find my Spotify profile. My Spotify profile is all over the place. My username used to be Cheese It for some reason. I made it when I was like in middle school. So my username was called Cheese It. Okay, awesome. This isn't much better. Guys, if you want access to this playlist that I'm talking about, that's my favorite playlist that I've ever made. It's my fall playlist from last year, but then instead of making a new fall playlist this year, I just added new songs to it. And I'm probably just going to do that every year because I think it's just a really good vibe that I've curated. It's a really good vibe that I've cooked up in the studio. So my username, get ready, KLVD CBH7AMK1N GREK6T0KOBSV. All those letters are lowercase. That's my username. It should be a picture of Lucy from Charlie Brown as my profile picture. And the playlist is called Leaving the Familiar, Air is Getting Chillier. It's a lyric from the Big Thief song Objects. And it's a very, it is probably the fall song for me. And then I just, did you all hear that? I just accidentally played a song. But yeah, I've been adding to it and I'm going to edit it pretty soon just because there's some that I want to take off, some I want to add. I'm always working to improve this playlist. So give it a listen and if you like it, let me know. And if you have suggestions, let me know. Okay? All right. Should we hop into it today? Oh, guys. Today, I'm going to be ranking all of my hyperfixations. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I can't like something normally. It's actually a problem, and I have talked to my therapist about it, and I have gone on medication because of it. So, essentially, when I like something, I have to become obsessed with it and know everything about it and talk about it nonstop, and it's the only thing you'll hear from me for a good period of time. And it feels, I don't know how to describe the feeling, but it's I love it so much that I genuinely feel like without it I would die, which is scary. And I also force myself, so if it's a TV show, I force myself to watch it a bunch of times. If it's a book, I read it a bunch of times. If it's a person, I watch everything they've ever been a part of. I've, read every interview, bought every magazine, blah, blah, blah. And it's to the point where, it gets in the way of, my everyday life. And it's, genuinely, I'm being so serious, the only thing I can think about. So I notice, I forget a lot of things, or am neglectful of certain relationships or certain things in my life that I should be paying attention to when I have a deep hyperfixation. And I also get very depressed. It's initially when I find it shoots up. My joy shoots up and I'm obsessed with it and it's all I can think about and it's so fun. But then 3 or 4 days into the obsession, or if I finish whatever it is, it's actually the lowest of the lows. You get the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. So that's how I feel. And you know what? There have been some things that I like that I haven't hyperfixated on. But there have been a lot of things that I've really, really become obsessed with. So today I'm going to go into them And because I've done a lot of reflecting this year, because I was just talking with my therapist, and I don't want to be TMI, but she was like, this level of love that you feel for these certain things is obsessive. So it is a symptom of OCD. So I was kind of just looking back, because I only really like thought about it really hard this year, and I was looking back to try and figure out when I started having like hyperfixations. And I think the earliest I can think of is middle school, like 5th grade. So I'm going to go back. I've written down a bunch of them. I'm not going to cover all of them because I can't remember them all off the top of my head, and I wrote these down like 10 minutes ago. But I'm going to go over some. Some of them are really embarrassing. One of them in particular, I really, really don't want to say because I don't want to admit that I was so, like, actually crazy about this thing. But anywho, I'm going to rank them, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my experience with them. And maybe suggest them to you, and maybe force you to listen or watch. Because most of these are shows. I don't know what it... Okay, if you guys have ever seen Community, like, the way Abed is with, like, movies, and the way he's obsessed with movies and TV and all that stuff, it's very similar to that, except it's just one thing at a time. And it usually is a show or movie. So let's jump right in. I'm going to try to go in chronological order as they coincide with my life, but who knows, because some of them overlap and some of them I don't really remember when they were. I just know they happened. Okay, 5th grade. Let's get right down to it. Pineapples. The fruit. Oh, wait, can I tell you my ranking system? Hold on. I'm going to go A, B, C, D. Like, you see those tier lists? And I'm just going to rank it by... Okay, do you guys think I should rank it by, like, how deeply obsessed? Like, how bad the obsession got? Or just, like, my favorite? Oh, I'm just going to rank my favorites. Okay. I'm going to put pineapple in D to begin with. I feel like I don't really have to clarify. None of my other obsessions have been, like, an inanimate object that I can't, like, actively engage with. So, pineapples is D, like, bottom tier. Top tier is A. A, B, C, D. That's how it goes. Yeah, I don't know why I was obsessed with pineapples. I had to have them on everything. I had to let everyone know that I really, really liked pineapples. But it wasn't even, like, eating them. It was just, like, the design. Like how you have, like, chevron and stuff. It was just, like, pineapples. I wanted it on my clothing. I wanted to draw them. I did learn how to draw them pretty well, if I do say so myself. But for some reason, in my mind, being obsessed with pineapples coincides with learning the number pi, like 3.14. Did y'all ever learn that pi song? 3.141592653589793238462643 Yeah, I learned that and I still remember it, so beat that. And then I just got progressively worse at math. Anyways, pineapples around that same area that I learned oh my god. Pineapples around the same era that I learned that 3.14 pi song. When's Pi Day? Oh, March 14th? March 14th. Okay. Guys, mark your calendars because we're celebrating this year. Next year. Okay. Pineapples out of the way. It's ranked D last. Let me delete this from my app so I don't like... Oh, wait, actually, I don't want to do that, do I? Okay. Anywho, let's move on to the books I was obsessed with in middle school. Oh, my... Okay, I just remembered another one. All right. First set of books that I was obsessed with are probably the Lunar Chronicles. I don't know if you guys have read the Lunar Chronicles. I wouldn't suggest them now. They're not the best books. It's like how all your favorite books, like, you go back and read them and it's like, oh, this writing was actually the worst. And the book is not even good. But, I mean, when you read it when you're young, anything's good. And as long as it's interesting and fun, you love it. And it's the best piece of literature out there. I don't know why whenever I get on here to podcast, I like suddenly can't breathe. Like I take the deepest breaths, and I try not to do it in the mic because I hate when I go back and edit and it's like just me like having labored breaths every 2 seconds. I have to cut them out. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, the Lunar Chronicles. They go like this. The first one is Cinder. The second one is Scarlet. The third one is the one based off of Rapunzel, but I can't remember her name. Ugh. I can't remember. Cinder, Scarlet, something, and then Winter. And they were pretty awesome. It was kind of about, I guess, like just normal humans and then people that lived on the moon. I can't remember what they were called, but people lived on the moon and they had like special powers. But then there were also like cyborgs, like electronics that were viewed as less than people, and then and they were kind of like slaves and like service workers and like treated very poorly. And then Cinder is like, the story's based off of Cinderella, but she's like half human, half cyborg. And then, but then there are also like, yeah. So the first book is about her, and then it just adds a girl every time, and then they somehow all get interconnected, and like they're trying to fight the kingdom of the people who live on the moon because they're trying to like brainwash everyone into taking over the world. Now I feel like maybe I should reread it. Wait, guys, why should I reread it right now? May have to reread. Okay, well, I just remember, here's how I knew it was an obsession. I remember, I just did it again, the labored breath. Ugh with the labored breath. I also am realizing that I'm talking so loud in here. The red lines are spiking. Okay. I remember finishing the last book, Winter, sobbing my eyes out. I binge read this series. Made all of my friends read. They had to get in on the action. And I sobbed my eyes out, went back to the first book and started rereading it. And I was like, OMG, Cinder doesn't even know what's going to happen to her. And I was actually, that was my first major depressive episode due to a piece of media. And I was inconsolable for a really long time. You know when you just like don't want things to end? I get like that with everything. I hate things changing or ending. Very nostalgic person. So I was crushed when I finished this series. But then there were little spin-offs, so I read those and I felt a little better. All right. We're already at 20 minutes, so I'm going to try to speed a little bit faster through these. Next was Keeper of the Lost Cities. It was another book. Oh, no. Okay. Well, yeah. Keeper of the Lost Cities. She's still not done writing these books. And I was like, I experienced so many of the new releases. Anyways, I read them really fast and was obsessed with this one character. This one man character. And I finished it and I could not wait for the next book. I waited years for new books, went to a book signing, met the author, read a bunch of fan fiction. Like, you don't even want to know how much fan fiction I read, to the point where like I'm not sure what is like the actual story and what is fan fiction anymore, because I just read so many different versions of the story because I didn't want it to end. And you know what? It's still not over, but I'm not going to finish it because she, like, the author released like I think 8 books, and then she, instead of releasing the 9th, she released 8.5, and originally it was only going to be like 7 books. But now she's like, she keeps getting signed for more, so she keeps dragging the story out, and it's not even good anymore. And then, like, reading back, it is very middle school grade, so I wouldn't suggest it. Like, it's not very good. But I was obsessed with that. I also just, like, for those 2 book series, Lunar Chronicles and Keeper of Lost Cities, I had friend groups who were also reading it around the same time, so it was literally so much fun to, like, I would give anything to do that again, like, be a part of a friend group. We're all reading the same book series, and we are all so obsessed with it that, like, it's all we talk about. maybe I just need to get into a book club, but I don't think I've ever felt so much joy. I've never felt so much joy. Like, that was actually one of the best things in my life. Like, one of the best experiences of my life. I say this like it was like a big thing, but it's just like reading a book series with your friends that you are all so obsessed with is so much fun. And there's like endless topics to discuss. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. You just have to do it. You have to do it sometime. Guys, let's start a book club and let's all get obsessed with the next thing that I become obsessed with, okay? I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated. And I'll tell you what, it's not going to be Dean Koontz. It's not going to be Dean Koontz. Okay. Next book series was Divergent. I feel like we can all relate to that. I just read them really fast, and then I was obsessed with telling people what faction I think they would be in, and then I was like, blah, blah, blah. I would just talk about it all the time, and I really loved it. I would like to reread those as well, because I'm wondering if the writing was as good as I remember or not. And I'm going to guess no, but a girl can dream. All right, let's move in to the first movie I was ever obsessed with, which was Mamma Mia. Guys, when I tell you the way I haven't been ranking them. Hold on. Okay, Pineapple's D. The Lunar Chronicles. Honestly, I'm going to say C for the Lunar Chronicles. And I'm going to say D for Keeper. D for Keeper. B for Lunar Chronicles, because I not because like I would really, really suggest it now or anything. I'll get back to you once I reread. But just because I remember reading it, it was joyous. Okay, Mamma Mia. I would watch this at least 3 times a week. I watched it so many times, would cry every single time. And don't even get me started. Whoa. Don't even get me started, guys. Don't even get me started on when Mamma Mia 2 came out, because it was the death of me. And when I watched the second Mamma Mia, I didn't know that Donna was dead at the spoiler alert. I didn't know that Donna was dead from the very beginning of the movie. And I was like, I am literally watching this movie for Meryl Streep. But it proved me wrong, because I love Mamma Mia 2 and I love Mamma Mia 1. Guys, Mamma Mia is so good. The music is so good. It's so fun. It's so girl. It's so awesome. I want all of the outfits that are ever in Mamma Mia. I love Tanya. She's so funny. It's just such a good movie. But I remember I would come home from school, make a little mac and cheese, and watch that at least 3 times a week. It was brutal. It was brutal. And I had a Mamma Mia birthday party, blah, blah, blah. I was obsessed. And I still love that movie. So I'm going to rate it B as well. All right. Let's go OMG. Okay, let's go YouTubers next. Guys, this is probably the most embarrassing thing I've ever said out loud. And you have to keep in mind that this was in 7th grade. Okay, maybe 8th grade. I was in middle school, okay? I was obsessed with the Dolan twins. I don't know if you guys know the Dolan twins. If you don't, look them up. They were these twin YouTubers, and they would do a bunch of challenges and stuff, and they were just very bro. And I was obsessed. I have watched every single Dolan twins YouTube video. I feel like there is a weight off of my chest now that I've said that. I have watched every single Dolan Twins video. And the crazy thing is I've cried over them. I remember, okay guys, this is going to sound really bad, but keep in mind I was in middle school and I didn't really have empathy yet. When their dad died and they posted on Instagram, I was more upset for myself, because I think, okay, it was during the winter, and I think I did have a little bit of a depression, or I was going I don't know, I was just really down that winter, And like my very first thought when they posted that their dad died was, how am I going to live without a Tuesday video? Because they were taking 2 weeks off, and I was like, guys, I have to tell you, I genuinely could not fathom the idea of not getting a video on a Tuesday. And I genuinely thought I was going to die in the next 2 weeks. Like, I was like, that is the only thing I have going for me. The only thing I have going for me, the only thing keeping me alive right now is a Dolan Twins YouTube video. The promise of a Dolan Twins YouTube video. Let that sink in, guys. This is who you're listening to. A Dolan Twins stan. But you know what? If you guys watch their videos, please talk to me about it, because they were actually so engaging and fun to watch. Okay? So I don't want to hear it from you guys. And I remember really wanting to buy their merch, but I was too embarrassed, so I didn't. And you know what? I should have been embarrassed, so I'm glad I didn't buy that. Anyways, I'm going to rate that a C, because I don't watch the Dolan Twins. I don't think they're doing YouTube anymore. I don't keep up with them. I don't follow them on anything anymore, just because once they started doing stuff with James Charles and Emma Chamberlain, I was obsessed with that, and then I just started watching Emma Chamberlain instead. So, that's how that obsession ended. Okay, let's move on. The first TV show that I was really obsessed with was Lost. I watched that with my family, and I was deeply obsessed with it, and I made them like postpone watching the last episode for a really long time because I could not bring myself to watch the last episode. Lost is such a great show. Like, I need to rewatch it soon because it is genuinely one of my favorite shows ever. It's so good. It's so fun. I mean, I don't know. It's so... I don't know how to describe it. I just really love it. And I wrote those... Okay, so the Lost numbers, if you guys have ever seen Lost, there are some really vital numbers, and it's 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. And I memorized them, and I wrote them everywhere. And I made some kind of version of those numbers, like very important passwords. They've changed now, but so I can say that. But like the password to my email, passwords to vital things. Oh, you better believe they were based off of the Lost numbers. And I was obsessed with them, and when some of my favorite characters died, I felt like I had lost a loved one. The way I reacted actually was so shocking. I reacted like my sister had died. So I'm going to rate that one an A. It's our first A category because I love Lost. Okay. Let's move on to Miraculous Ladybug. Miraculous Ladybug. Guys, you need to watch Miraculous Ladybug. The French TV show turned English. They didn't change the animation, so it's just like an English dub. So good. Oh, it's so good. A very rich, complex story. Is every episode basically the same? Yeah. But it's so good. I binged it, and you do not want to know how much fan fiction I read of Miraculous Ladybug. I've got Ladybug and Cat Noir hanging up in my car with me right now. I got little action figures because I love them. And no, I have not seen the movie yet because I'm afraid that it will send me back into that state of mind where all I could think about was Miraculous. It was the winter of 2018 when I was really obsessed with Miraculous. So probably definitely too old, but I still love Miraculous, guys. And I need to catch up on the show because I kind of fell off of it when I was waiting for a season. I just kind of forgot about it, and I need to watch the movie. But I heard that the movie is a musical, and I've watched the Christmas special, and the Christmas special is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, so I'm not mentally or emotionally prepared to watch Cat Noir and Ladybug or Marinette for that matter. I'm just not prepared to listen to Marinette sing again. And Adrian. Adrian was, oh my, they didn't even try to make the singing good in that Christmas special. Anyways, I'm gonna rate Miraculous Ladybug a B. Because I wish I would keep up with it. I wish I had kept up with it. Maybe when I watch the movie, it'll turn back to A, but we're going to keep it at B right now. Next, we're going to go Stranger Things. This is a unique hyperfixation because I was first obsessed with this when the first season came out I think I was in 8th grade, or I watched it in 8th grade, and I was obsessed. I was obsessed with it, and I remember, like, watching the first season, being a little scared, obvi, because I was young, but then being obsessed with that cast of little kids and watching every interview, every, like, their, like, James Corden thing where they all sang, or, like, the Millie Bobby Brown, let's go back to Indiana circa 1983, just 4 boys in the basement chilling, playing D. Okay. That, do you guys remember when everyone got mad at Millie Bobby Brown because she kept, like, using grammar wrong, but she was, like, a kid and still in school, and so she had to, like, publicly apologize for her bad grammar? I was like, what is going on? Anyways, the unique thing about this hyperfixation is that it comes back every few years. So ever since that first season, anytime there is a new season, I fall right back into it, and I am obsessed with it for about, like, 4 or 5 months. And then the obsession lessens. It's never gone. I will forever have Stranger Things edits in my TikTok, but it's just less loud. But then a new season comes out, and I'm fully in it again. So guys, you don't want to know what will happen to me when that last final season comes out. You don't want to know because it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. Like, OMG, I'm actually getting stressed out thinking about it because I hate when things end, and especially since I'm so nostalgic, something that I've been watching since I was in 8th grade or 7th grade or something. Like, I've been watching it for like 6 years. And that freaks me out that it's ending now because I feel like, I don't know, the whole cast grew up and I grew up too, and that just really freaks me out and really makes me sad. So let's hope that writer's strike. Oh, I think the writer's strike's over actually. Uh-oh, guys. Uh-oh. I need to never see that season because the damage that it will do is actually crazy. Okay, Stranger Things, I'm rating it an A. Obvi. I love that show so much, and I hate that the cringy TikTok people got to it, especially Eddie, because I really liked Eddie, and I even got a t-shirt, but then as soon as that Chrissy Wake Up song was made, immediately felt awful about that t-shirt, couldn't wear it. Why does TikTok ruin my favorite characters? Anyways, next we're going to go to hold on, let me talk about this. Let's do One Direction. The fact that I was obsessed with One Direction, probably the only thing I could talk about for 3 years straight. And Harry. One Direction and Harry kind of lumped together. Guys, I've since changed my opinions on fan fiction about people who actually exist, because that's a little weird. I have read so much One Direction fan fiction. And you know it's that YN, like, you know, the classic, like, fan fiction the funny, like, 8th graders are writing. The way that... Oh, okay, so me and Amelia have already talked about this on the podcast, but the 10-year anniversary of One Direction, that actually ruined me. That kind of snapped me out of it. I was like, okay, they're not getting back together. I need to stop obsessing about this thing and yearning. We talked about season of yearning recently. I need to stop yearning for this thing to happen when it will probably not happen. I know people are hopeful, and I know they've said, like, oh, I guess we will, but to me, it's so hard to like, think about them getting back together now that Harry's career has gotten so big. Like, I feel like he would definitely, like, overshadow everyone, and I would feel bad about that because I like the other boys too. I love Louis so much, and Niall. I don't really like Liam, and I like Zayn, but I doubt Zayn would come back. But just, like, I just can't imagine them getting back together and it being what we expect or what we want. So I feel like it's best. Here's the thing. I love One Direction though, and I want them to get back together, but I want it to be exactly like how it was when they were together, and I just don't think that's possible. Anyways, One Direction, Avi going A, because I'm still obsessed with them. Okay. Next is the movie Pearl. It's the prequel to the movie X, and it's so good, and like that is a character that I connect with so deeply. And I know everyone's like, she's so me, but I'm telling you, she is me. Okay? She is me. I am her. She is obsessive, I am obsessive. She is crazy, I am crazy. I love Pearl so much. Please watch that movie. I'm going to rate it a B. I've seen it so many times. It is so good. It's so unsettling. Oh, I love that movie. Anyways, that's all I could talk about last year. Anyways, all right. I'm going to try to speed through these. Young Royals. I'm obviously rating it an A. Beautiful show. Don't talk to me about how the last season is coming out soon. I won't be able to take it. Hey, my heart will explode. Okay? I just watched the last season of Sex Education, and I felt like I was going to die. And so don't even get me started on Young Royals. Like, I don't want to know about it. Like, I actually can't think about it for too long. All right. We got 3 left. And we're going to start with Sinjin Drowning, the YouTube channel. I went through, okay, I still watch them. I love them so much. Weston and Kaylin, you've probably seen some of their clips. Some of their clips have gone viral in the past, like, year. I love Sinjin Drowning, and I still love them. But I went through a phase, like, I want to say 2 years ago, where I had to be watching one of their videos at all times. Which really freaks me out to think about now, because, like, I could not fall asleep without one of their videos playing. I woke up, the first thing I did was put one of their videos on. I was always watching one of their videos, and I always had to have one in on the background. Like, whoa. Guys, it's getting late. It's 10 p.m., and I'm still in my car. I always had to have one of their videos on in the background to function. So that was crazy, and I'm going to rate it a B. But I love Sinjin Drowning so much. You should go watch some of their YouTube videos. All right, last 2. Heartstopper and The Last of Us. Hard to judge objectively because I'm still in the throes. I'm still in the throes of the obsession with this one. Heartstopper season 2 just came out, and I just found out that they're filming season 3 right now. Oh, so maybe I'll just pass away. Maybe I should just have a heart attack right now because I'm not. I was thinking that they were going to start filming the 3rd season in like maybe a year. I was not mentally prepared. I'm actually getting worked up right. Okay, I was not mentally prepared to figure out that they were filming season 3 and that it's been written already. And the book is coming out in a few months. Season 2 absolutely ruined me because, as you may know, I relate to Nick because he's bisexual and he's having struggles, and I also relate to Charlie because he has an eating disorder. And it really hit me hard, and I can't bring myself. I watched season 1 of Heartstopper so many times. When I tell you I watched it so many times, I could quote it from memory. I can't rewatch season 2 because it like actually physically pains me to watch it or think about it. So I'm gonna move on from Heartstopper and I'm gonna rate it an A, but it's also a sensitive subject, so don't talk about it with me because I actually feel like I'm gonna freak out right now. The Last of Us is my favorite thing I've ever seen in my entire life, guys. The extent that I went to play the game after watching the show is actually crazy. I did not need to go out of my way, buy a PS4, buy all the games, learn all the techniques, and finish the games in one summer. I'm not done with The Last of Us 2 yet, because I couldn't finish it in time, but you better believe I'll be finishing it over winter break. This is another touchy subject. I can't look at it like, oh my. I'm going to have to sign off soon, guys. My tongue is getting tied. My tubes are getting tied. I recently started listening to this new podcast. It's so TMG, they have like TMG Studios now where they like kind of like sponsor other podcasts, and Brooke and Connor, they're TikTokers, they made a podcast. And for some reason Connor's been saying like your tubes were tied instead of your hands were tied recently, and that just like really, really cracked me up. So that's where that's from. Also, okay, The Last of Us. Oh, just the best show I've ever seen. Oh, a father-daughter relationship, gonna make me cry and spiral. So perfect. The games, don't even get me started on the games and the difference between them. This is why I did a whole episode on it last week. I don't think you guys understand how deeply obsessed and like rooted I am in The Last of Us. I like cannot pull myself out of it. I tell everyone I know to watch it. Guys, okay, one of my friends knows the daughter of Craig Mazin. And you know what? I freaked out about that. I said, can you get me in contact with Bella Ramsey? I just want to talk. I just want to say, hey, I love Bella Ramsey more than anything ever. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to wrap it up because I can actually feel my heart like about to explode because I cannot think about The Last of Us for too long or Heartstopper for too long, or I will have a breakdown. I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry I didn't post the episode last week. I was just feeling a little insecure about it. And I was tired. I had a Coke Zero on the way home from ballet tonight. That's why I'm doing it so late, because I just don't feel tired yet. But I do need to get to bed. I have an early 8 a.m. tomorrow, and then I have a lot of hangouts tomorrow, so. And I have to edit this tomorrow, so I'm probably going to sign off, guys. I hope you guys have a great week. Oh, here's an app recommendation for you. Everyone's been getting it, so you probably already have it, but Laps is really cool. I really like it. It's like a disposable camera thing, but it's not tied to David Dobrik, thank God. Oh, also, Patreon. I am an avid Patreon patron. I pay for Patreon for multiple creators. I am obsessed with it. However, it's only been in like the Safari like web browser until now. They just made an app, and it's the best thing to ever happen to me in my life. I am so happy. Guys, if you were hesitant about Patreon because it didn't have an app, now it does, and now you can go get Patreon. I love it. I have it for some of my favorite podcasts. I just had to get that extra content because, you know, I can't. I fly through content so fast. Like, I always need more of it. Okay. I hope this episode was semi-entertaining. I'm sorry it was about me all episode, but it's just me in here. Like, what else am I going to talk about? I love you guys. I'll see you in 2 weeks, hopefully with Amelia. But who knows? Who knows? Who truly knows? All right. Much love and kisses and hugs and kisses also as well as in addition to kisses and love and also Actually, also hearts and kisses too. Love.